Welcome back to Man on the Beach. I'm here at Lostwithiel with Peter. Peter, what does the beach and this area mean to you?
Well, I came here in 2001, decided to leave London, and ended up here after going around Cornwall, and have been living there since. The beach actually is the centre of the town, although it's rather to one side. And it's particularly interesting because Lostwithiel is quite an old-fashioned town, and you still get behaviour similar to that one would have experienced in the 1930s. For example, there are Boy Scouts, there are Girl Guides and Brownies, all of whom turn out on the Remembrance Day. And in fact, the whole of this area here behind me will be crowded each Remembrance Day when they have the service at the War Memorial. The beach itself is very important because it seems to be a centre for entertainment for young children. You can come here in the summer and you see children from 2 years onwards swimming in the river, all in their wetsuits, and using it as though it was a beach, but of course it's an absolutely safe one. The children can allow themselves to be swept through the arches of the bridge, which they do often on their surfboards, and it gives them a great sense of fun and adventure in a perfectly safe environment, while all their mums and dads congregate on the grass behind me. The grass at the moment is rather covered with a lot of sand and gravel because we've had several high tides, and in fact yesterday's high tide, you can see the markers where it came to just level with the grass itself. But no, I mean, I find this place an absolute centre, and I come here regularly on a Saturday because we have a meeting in the Globe, the local pub, where members of the book club, we sell second-hand books on behalf of the church every Saturday morning. So we come here for a so-called management meeting at 12 o'clock each Saturday. So this is my regular haunt at this time.
You were telling me about some interesting aspects of the history of this beach, which of course is medieval, isn't it?
Yes, the bridge itself, if you can see, is in two parts. Between here and the lantern, it is medieval. And you can tell that from the arches. It is reputed that there are 5 other arches underneath North Street behind me on the left, because the original course of the river was on the left-hand side of the football field, and it was dug out in 1573 or thereabouts because of flooding. And so the river course on our right-hand side is artificial. As a result of that, of course, they had to then build the second part of the bridge, which is Tudor. So we've got a 2-part bridge here. Doubtless all sorts of archaeologists will argue with me, but having spent the last 12 years in our local museum, I'm prepared to argue with them on these facts.
You were saying also about D-Day in the bridge.
Well, of course, I mean, D-Day, the entire American army from Omaha Beach had its ammunition dumps all around Lostwithiel, and fortunately in 1939 the bypass was built. Otherwise they would have had to bring everything across this bridge, which you can imagine would have caused all sorts of problems. Just think, this was the main road between Liscard and Bodmin until 1939. And although it seems to be getting heavier use now, but it's a very interesting place because of that. I was first told of Lostwithiel by a gentleman during the war who taught me Morse code as a member of the Army Cadet Force. He was a naval captain, and he came to Lostwithiel to meet his girlfriend and found it flooded. So he got back on the train. There was a footbridge at the time by the station over there, and he went straight back home. And ever since then, he called his house Lostwithiel. And where I come from in Hampshire, all the little boys used to ask what was a Withiel and who lost it. And now I know it's this beautiful beach here which the kids love in the summer.
Well, thank you very much.
There you are, and I hope you don't. That's mainly true, I think.
All the best.
I do tend to run away because I spent quite a lot of my time teaching people how to speak publicly.
Well, I'm grateful. Thanks a lot.
It's good fun. But I mean, there you are. I mean, you can't but like this place. I mean, it's marvellous. You come here, it's peaceful and quiet and enjoyable, and you can watch the water go down. And mind you, on a couple of occasions there's been rather too much water, but we've got very good flood barriers now. And they were after the floods 4 years ago. They've improved them, so that they now allow water to run off back to the river rather than hold it up outside as the original barriers from 1965 tended to do. And I say, we've been lucky this time. I mean, they had floods in Loo, they had floods in Foy, but the build-up here didn't breach our barriers. So there you are. That's Lostwithiel for you.
Best wishes. Cheerio. Bye.
Okay then. Glad to have met you.